even, right? Like two-way street. And so when I'm talking to guys that they don't want to sign, I'm like, hey, we got to be a two-way. I'm always going to promise your payment. I can give you that to you in writing, no problem at that point. But it's for their own good too. It also tells them, like, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm not going to pay your change order. We talked about how this is going to happen, and I will pay for these things. And if it's not on the list, I'm going to pay for it. So it's a pro and a con, but they only see it as a con. And so that you just got to explain that to them.
How often do you get kickback on the contracts?
If they are, they're guys I shouldn't be hiring anyways. Because initially, no one wants to sign that. But after you have a conversation and explain it, they're like, I'm doing business with anybody, but they don't want to be like, no, this is good for everybody. They're like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm just usually cautious in general. So, and the hard part is Washington, it's a joke to become a general contractor. You give them $1,200, you put in this form, you go get a bond, and you're a contractor. And so you have to be very careful in Washington because anyone can be one. And so like if they don't, it's just a smell test thing. It's actually a way for me just to go, this is what I'm not hiring. So, but if you have a nasty contract that's not even, then I can see people pushing back.
So and then how do you guys evaluate, like, if you're going to knock down a wall and open it up, or if you're going to add this or that and get the return on the back end? How do you guys dictate whether you're going to knock down that wall or not? Or you're going to
comparables.
Only
yeah, if it's got a kitchen that's open in my comparables, I'm going to do it. If it's not open, even though I prefer it, I'm leaving it closed.
That's your only dictator?
Only dictator at that point, yeah. There's like little things that you can do for like flow, and I might have some extra opinion, like natural light. I'm big on natural light. I might be like, yeah, I'm going to add these 2 windows here so it feels better. But right now, the last 24 months, if you spent more on your house, you usually would get it back, if not more. That's not how it works anymore. So like in 2008, what we'd always do is take the comparables and go, okay, if it's worth $300 today, by the time we sell it's going to be worth $280. And then the market times were 9 months at that point. So we had to sell it in 30 days or less because that's not going to work for us. And so we used to take our comparable data and go, okay, that's where we might knock the kitchen wall out because we want to be better, but we're not going to give it any more value at that point. So if we're spending more money on the project, it's just to sell it faster now, not to actually get more out of it.
What do your team look like? Because you're doing more work than 95% of like GCs that are in the business. So what does your like internal team look like?
Well, it just changed. So you guys, again, anytime the market changes, you've got to change your whole teams out. I had to do it on my acquisition teams, my wholesale teams. We had to change everything that we're doing. So for new construction, we have 4 superintendents, and then we have 10 laborers that do like the pickup work because they're spread out over all. And then that's the staffing that we have, and they do like a lot of the pickup work through in there. So usually on each development site, there's like 1 to 2 laborers and a superintendent running subs. And then we have a product order or supply order, and then we have our accounting team that does all the budgeting and the performance behind that. Our fix and flip, we've actually, for the last 2 years, we've always run PMs. They have my group of generals. We get generals like 50% of the deal. We plug in our subs from there. Because the labor market sucks so bad right now, I ended up getting rid of all managers like PMs, and we ended up hiring 2 of our generals as basically super PMs. And so they're actually installing as they're running quotes and organization. So they're actually the PMs now. My PMs have to be able to do manual work as well. Okay. So and that allows things to keep moving forward. In addition to what I've learned is if my PM's on site and he can do the work, if I have a stall out with my electrician, what happens is if something's not ready, they just leave and I can't get them back for a week. They can fix it right there on the spot. And so I'm trying to keep things moving forward because speed is key right now. As rates keep shifting up, market keeps shifting down, if I'm at a 9-month project, that puts me in way more exposure. And so that's why I started doing it. And then we started doing that about 45 days ago, and our projects have already just started cranking through.
Keeping subs on board, not saying, hey, I got to come back in a week because plumbing's not done yet.
Exactly. Like that was killing us on delays. You guys, actually building homes is way easier than renovating. You have a plan, you're working with all business professionals that are coming out. They give you numbers based off your plans. It's a very logical thing. That's why you see a lot of companies that are bigger go into new construction because you can systemize it a lot better. Remodeling is tough because every house is different. There's different things going on. The trades aren't quite as educated too. to where they're just kind of throwing higher and higher number at it to see if they can get it. And with all my guys, I literally had to show them. I showed my painter that I'm like, sorry, dude, you're out. He's like, well, why? I'm like, because you were always cheaper, but now I can hire my new construction painter who should be more than you. And so, like, because you kind of balance that. I would say because the education level's higher on that, they do things more logically. Whereas the flip contractors do things more like, I think I can get this here. And so it's easier to build over rentals.
All of your lists and forms, did you build those from the ground up from your own experience, or did you have like a mentor that helped you build all that, or?
We built all these forms from losing money, to be honest. So when I first started doing this, I had none of it. And I was like, okay, well, that didn't go well, so I can prevent it by doing this. And so it just takes time, and you learn them, but you can get that stuff online. We have self-taught us everything.